All right, welcome to the Sips and Smut podcast. I'm Maddie,
I'm Jordan.
and today we're going to be talking about Under Lock and Key. So, this book I kind of started going into as like a palate cleanser, and it ended up being more fantasy than I thought it was going to be. But I mean, I'm one of those girls. You and I both love accents, but I am like 70% Scottish. So, you give me like a rugged Scottish accent Highlander, like
Who's grumpy,
I'm here.
who's
I
also a
am
bit
here
grumpy.
for it. Right?
Yes.
Throw me over
Uh,
his shoulder like a sack of grain anytime he wants, and that's fine.
what I really liked about it is how different it was in the general, like, it was like a one of those cases of like the families don't talk to each other. There was a big
Yeah.
blowout. It's usually something with the woman, like the mom
Yes.
is set, like the dad got into it with the daughter, or like the okay, let me rewind. So it's the granddaughter that's coming back to Scotland trying to find out her family because her dad had just died and she knew that she had family in Scotland. So kind of
Hmm.
primp with that. And usually it's reverse. It's usually like the mom died or the mom had a
Yes.
fallout with their parents, and it's usually something like that. And it's usually a fallout with the dad. And I thought it was such a like, this is kind of refreshing on that take. Don't get me wrong. I loved every bit of the banter and back and forth between the two main
Did
characters
really
and
good
everything.
banter.
It had really good banter. And I was very excited to see where that was going. And that Loch Ness was included in this in such a unique way. But
It was, and it wasn't cheesy.
yes, that
Like I
was
think
a
with
big
Loch
part
Ness,
of it.
it's yeah, with Nessie especially, it's just such a like well-known
Mm-hmm.
thing, like cryptid, whatever. That I don't know, does Nessie count as a cryptid?
Um, Maybe so
I don't
because
know.
it's been around so long. Like it's been around a long time, like a long, long
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah.
I would
Okay,
say
yes, could
so.
be considered a cryptid. It's so well known that I think most people, when you hear it, you expect cheesy.
Hmm.
And this was like, I was really pleasantly not surprised, but like, I don't know, it was really nice to read something where it wasn't cheesy at all. And it was actually fairly serious. And for a fantasy book, I really liked the banter. I really liked the magic plot that was set up.
Hmm.
I thought that was done really, really well.
I liked the banter. I liked the build up to their relationship. I liked the plot. I liked the
Yeah.
different aspect of basically this is fantasy shifter.
Yes.
So it's Loch Ness. So spoilers, sorry, but it's a Loch Ness shifter, which I have never heard of before. And
It's a new one.
I
I
loved that
loved
it was
it.
so like different. Like, cause
Yeah.
you hear about tigers and lions and bears. Oh my, like
Yeah.
you have all of that. Like all that's been done. Um, and snakes and stuff like that. So it's just like this very different, like, let's pick a known mythological creature,
Yeah.
Loch Ness. And I was like, all right, cool.
Okay.
And then it's a hot Scottish dude. And I'm like, also cool. Also, yes. And he's
Yes,
grumpy.
please.
But he also, it's not like, but it also isn't some kind of like herd mentality where there's like multiple of them. It's a
Yeah, no,
curse.
it's just it's just that family.
Yeah, and it's a curse. It's not a blessing. It's not like they're
Yeah.
protectors or anything like that. It's an actual like issue. And so I like that that was also the take on it. It wasn't like there's a huge family of Loch Ness shifters and you have to be
Yeah.
accepted into their clan or something like that. It was something very
No.
different because that's usually a shifter thing, like gotta get accepted and all this mess.
Yeah.
Fated mates type of thing, which is usually the case. And I like that it wasn't that. It was actually a problem. They're trying to solve it.
Yeah.
And she had to discover it on her own, sort of. And then the whole like she had that going on. And then she also had the dynamic with the family of like coming to Scotland and then trying to sort that out.
And like not telling the family that she was coming and just showing up.
Yeah. And then just showing up
Mosquito.
and then it turns out there's a big she didn't even fully know
Yeah.
the reason why there was such a fallout and who it
Yeah.
was. And so that she didn't know like how deep it ran. And so when her, her first arrival, it wasn't exactly, especially with the grandma. I don't remember the grandma's name, but her uh interaction
Rona.
with Rona was, or Rona was very like,
Yeah.
was very cold, stiff, and didn't really go into detail about it until much later. Um,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect it for it to be the mom to give such a hard time, because usually it's the dad. So I was
Yeah. And
surprised by that.
that was nice. Sorry,
So
I'm killing a mosquito at the same time because I'm allergic to mosquitoes.
oh no, yeah, no, we don't need anaphylactic shock on the podcast.
Why it liven things up a little?
Yeah, suddenly
So
you
hi,
just fall off screen, and what happened? And 911.
you know what though? It'd be interesting.
Hot paramedic shows up. Hey, hi.
I What a sacrifice. Oh my God, I didn't even kill it. I thought you fell to the floor. No, there you are.
uh, this is where we should insert like do 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 something from Jeopardy, or that
One
screen
eternity later.
later after the mosquito has been taken care of. Um,
There's nothing I can read dark romance all day. That doesn't scare me. What scares me? Mosquitoes.
that should be a slogan, somewhere, or a sticker.
You know what? Like any self-respecting TikTok girl, some of us have tummy troubles. Some of us have like other things.
Hmm.
I'm allergic to bug bites. Like I'll get well. So
Oh gosh, yeah, no,
we're saved. We're saved.
we're good, we're good. Okay, so Rona,
From
and it sounds so bad because it's like short for almost like Corona. So I would
I
just think
know.
that I was like Rona, Corona. Maybe
I
they're
know
like
the whole time. It took me a minute to get used to it because we're too like I don't know how you feel about it, but like I'm pretty sure that I will always be scarred from COVID.
that too. And I was like, it's Corona and then Rona for COVID. And I was like, I don't,
I know.
I feel like maybe the author was like, I'm gonna write something. Maybe this was she wrote it during COVID, and it was just like, I'm gonna pick this back up and publish it or something. I don't know. Lena Ferguson, she's a known author. But
Mhm. It was good.
oop, knocked over, hit my stuff. Uh,
One of these days we're gonna get our stuff together.
one of these days. Uh,
No, we're not. But that's what makes it fun, right?
it's never dull, that's for sure.
No.
Um, so
What did you think of the relationship with the cousin at the beginning? Because I
I
know he like
thought it.
tried to be kind of nice.
I kind of was like, he isn't trying to like pick up on her. I didn't.
I That's what I was like,
Is he trying to hit? Like, I was a little like, it would have been
yeah,
different if this was like Alabama, but it wasn't. And we're
that was Scotland.
in Scotland, and I'm like pretty sure they're very against all of that. And so I was like, what is he doing? Oh, because it seemed a bit more than just being, I'm your cousin. It was like, I'm your
Yeah,
cousin. Hey, it was kind of giving those vibes. And I was like,
he was kind of
oh, no, no,
weird.
no, 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 no. But yeah, it was a very off-putting. And then, as you discover later, you find out why.
Why? I
Why?
thought he was kind of like I knew something was going on with him, but I couldn't figure it out. And that's one of the things I really liked about it because I think so many times you get into a book and you can very much tell like who the villain's going to be, what's going to happen. Um, and sometimes that's nice to like it's an easy read. It doesn't take a lot of mental,
Mm-hmm.
thinking and whatnot. But this one, I felt off about him, but I wouldn't have guessed that he would turn out the way that he did.
It's true. But they also had it set up to where the author, Lena, she had it set up to where there was multiple different plot points going on. So it
Yeah.
wasn't just like a villain. It was she's trying to sort out this weird feud thing she doesn't know about with
Yeah.
her grandparents. But really it was with the mom. The dad was like their or the grandfather was like, I'm so excited to see you. He was very
Yeah.
loving and all that, very accepting. It was the grandma, Rona, that was a little like off puttish. So trying to sort that out and also dealing with the death of her father, grief, trying to
This
sort.
is so sad.
So there was a lot of little plot elements just right there. And then you
Yeah.
had her and Lachlan, Like Kiana is the main character's name, by the way. She goes by Key. So if we say Key, it's the main character. It's a nickname. Not to be confusing. So Key and Lachlan and their little back and forth, and then she discovers his secret. And so there's that. And then and try to sort that out. And then suddenly like the cousins kind of being like odd and off, like kind of weird, something's going on there, and you're not really sure what it is. And then you see it's a major plot point later. I was like, oh, Lena, you did good. You did good
Yeah.
because I didn't fully expect it. I thought he might pop up and be something a little weird later, like he might start
Yeah.
drama, but
But like not to that degree.
no, I didn't expect it to be that full on. And
Violent
yeah, I didn't expect it to
for
get to that
somebody that kind
that
of seemed like
level.
a nerd.
Yeah, like I didn't, but that's I mean the quiet ones.
But the
Hey,
quiet ones, yeah.
yeah,
Whatever.
I want to watch out.
I love that. And then I loved the culture that she brought into it, like looking at that old rundown castle
Hmm.
and bringing in the Highland culture and the ancestors because it, like you said, it is a curse and it goes back so long. And I think she did a really good job of bringing all of that kind of full circle, which is really difficult to do,
Hmm.
I think. Um, but she did a really, really good job with that. And I really enjoyed that. Like I said, I am Scottish, so I like the culture, but there's so much like I don't know, like magic, but like druids and stuff like that that
Hmm.
is so much a part of that culture, even
Hmm.
to this day.
Yeah.
Like and it's really cool that she kind of wove that in such an organic way.
It 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 borderlines like a historical romance in that regard because there is
Yes.
a lot of going back into a previous time and
Yeah.
we're reading through findings, like they find stuff, they find different things. I'm not trying to spoil too much, even though we kind of spoiled a lot already, but uh they find everything that lead up to like what happened, how this
Yeah.
curse came about, what they're supposed to do to be able to break it. um that part I wasn't too surprised about. I kind of figured that part out a little.
Yeah.
That one
I
is,
think
it's just
and that's I
really,
think that's fairly normal in a lot of these like curses and stuff. It's like it's like you've had the power to break it all on, but you have to do the self-discovery.
well, that, and you kind of already know who and how they're supposed to break
Yeah.
it. Like you kind of, it's really hard to make it something different because
Yeah.
that's something that is seen a lot. Like we've read a lot, we've seen this a lot in different books. So
Hmm.
that one I was like, wasn't surprised about that, but I
Yeah.
liked the journey there. I
I
enjoyed
liked the
the
journey
journey.
there. And I liked that she brought his dad into it
Hmm.
because that was something different too.
Yeah,
His
because
mom kind of bugged me though.
yeah, I didn't like how
I don't really like her.
I didn't
Like, I get it. You went through some trauma, but like, that's your kid. Your kid went through trauma too. And you can't just like F
leave them.
off. Be like, bye, child.
It was giving Katniss Everdeen, and I didn't like the mom in the Hunger Games for that
Yeah.
reason. And I was like,
I'll
no,
just walk away from my kid. This is fine.
yeah, I
Like
don't,
you and I know what what self-respecting child would let you do that?
yeah, and not only that, like, what kind of parent are you?
What
You,
kind of parent, right? I mean, as much as I have days, and I know you do too, and any parent does, where you'd be like, I would like to be 1,000 miles away from this child right now.
mm-hmm.
I'd never do it.
No,
I'd miss them too much.
yeah, like you love them too much for that. Like that, the amount of selfishness that goes into that, and to just basically
Yeah,
abandon your
she seemed
child.
like so selfish, and even at the end, where like not to spoil anything, things kind of like got better in terms of her life.
Yeah,
Even then, it was
I was like, why is she being accepted back in? I would have been like, you have
yeah,
a long way to go, honey bunny. You have a long way to go. Like,
right.
I don't care if it's been 2, 3 years. Like,
Like also, you didn't help at all. Thanks.
no help. You were very rude. And then you just kind of meh left
Yeah,
left
just
your
kind of
child to
like
figure it out.
deuces.
Like, no,
I'm out.
I
I
hate
hate parents
those.
like that.
I hate, yeah, because like
Because like what?
bring
I
bring
mean,
bring you back the Hunger Games part where
yeah,
whenever because everyone knows about that one. If
yeah,
you haven't read it or seen it by now, that's on you. It's been out for 10 years.
Yeah.
So or however long, but it's
I think even
well
longer than
over
that.
well, he's like well over that probably. But uh the the mom just shuts down when her husband dies and pretty much leaves Katniss to fend for herself. That's what's happening
Yeah.
here. And I've read, I think, one other story where that's like that, and that is probably like a clot. I didn't even realize it was a pet peeve until just
Drama.
now. Like I cannot handle parents and in stories like that are created like that. That the kid has to be the one to be the grown up. Hate
That was
that
my life.
so
I can't stand that
much.
in a book. Like I
Same.
lived that.
I
I don't
yeah.
need to read it.
I lived it
I
fairly much
read
too.
I read books so that I don't have to live that drama.
Mm-hmm.
Show me a parent that like goes out of their way and sacrifices for their kid.
Yeah. Even when they're like, if they have like some stories like they have cancer, they're still trying to like
Yeah.
do stuff for their child before they leave because they know they're dying. Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of different ways that could have gone. So I understand why Lana did that, but at the same
I mean,
time,
yeah, it does make sense in this book, but
yeah, but I don't,
didn't mean I like her. I just don't like the mom. I like love the writing.
yeah,
Don't like
I
that character, but I don't think we're really supposed to like that character. So
no, no, I feel like Lana was letting some anger out at somebody with that one, but it was just like, I that
yeah.
brought because that's what the story does though. It's so well written and you're so involved. It brings like your own personal experiences in it,
Yes.
and so you're like you when you're following along, you're also like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. It sucks. And you know,
Yeah.
you feel what the character's feeling. So that's good writing. That's a good story.
Yeah. This one was really good. Like I reading the back of it, like I hadn't heard of it. I just found it, read the back, and I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like as it went on, you know, when you start a book, when you're like, I'm sure this is a good book, but like you don't realize or you don't expect it to be as good as it is. I feel like this was one of those books for me. I ended up crying at certain points in this book too.
There
Like
was I didn't
with her talking about her dad dying and like it just, I've lost a parent, not in the same way, very different, but like I can understand the emotion there
mm-hmm.
and the way it was written just hit home. And I cried at the end with his dad because that was
I
cute.
I did not. I would say I got emotional, but I didn't cry. Mainly because I have lost a relative, a very close relative that she was like my great grandmother and I we were very close there for my middle school and some of my high school years. So I've lost a parent figure. I have not lost
Yeah.
my parent. So I couldn't fully relate to it, but I had a general
Okay.
idea. And
God, you must have young relatives. My great grandma died when I was like 4. She was 92.
she was like, my grandmother was like 87 or something like she hasn't.
Yeah, you have young relatives.
Yeah. So am I, it,
Everybody in my family is old.
well, I don't want to get into my family dynamics on the
Yeah.
interwebs, but basically, yeah, we'll just stick with that. But yeah, I did choke up a little bit on some stuff, but nothing to where I was like sobbing,
Yeah.
where like some of these other books that I've read, I was like, oh my God. And I'm like
There's so
sobbing.
many. Like, I'm not a big crier. So for something to like register emotionally with me, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
this is well written that it hits home. And that's the beauty of it. I think it's something like that for everybody, like where this book touched on those feelings for me.
Hmm.
You know, it hit a little bit differently for you.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of reading.
That really is the beauty of reading. And that's what I love about reading. It's different for every person. And so it's
It
fun
is.
listening and hearing other people's reactions because
Yes.
what they read, they interpret differently also.
Differently. Yes.
It's
It's
interpreted differently. It's taking in that communication or that
yeah.
knowledge that and taking in the knowledge of what they're reading and they interpret it differently. And then you're hearing different interpretations and you're like, huh, didn't think of it that way.
I
But
love that.
but that's a good
It's
point. Like that's what's the beauty of reading is.
I think that's the thing. Like I always tell people, if anybody tells me that they don't like to read, my response is you're not reading the right book.
Correct. Correct. I'm
There is
like,
something for everyone. If you don't like reading, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine actually listened to our Up the Ladder
Yeah,
review and got a book, and she's not a big reader and she's enjoying it because we
it's
talked.
such a good
It's
book.
because I was like, because we talked about it in person too, and I was like, this is a good book to get into to explore that kind of genre of romance anyway,
Yeah. You
because
don't,
it's not dark romance, but it's just romance, and it's just a good build up. It's
yeah, it's
good
a good build up.
plot, good story, like.
There's some angst in there. There's some emotional stuff in there. I
Mhm.
think this book is another one that's just really good, especially like a beginner shifter book.
Beginner
This one would be
shifter
really good for this.
fantasy, beginner
Yeah.
shifter and fantasy, and then touch on historical a little
You
bit.
know
I
me, I
would,
love a good historical romance.
yeah, it's like it's not necessarily like Outlander,
It's
which I
not,
know is
no, which is also
it's
very good, but
yeah, but
it
it does
it's
touch on it.
enough to like touch on it to make sense, but it's not overly historical for people that are like, I don't like that. It's the itty bitty bit, and
And
it
it
ties in
is
very well.
and it is sort of mystery. It is because
Yes.
you're trying to solve an issue. So there is an
Yes.
investigative quality to it that's most people wouldn't necessarily think right off the bat. But I'm like, they had to find out what was going on.
Had to find it. Yeah.
They had to really sort it out. And it wasn't an
It
easy
was
sort
fun.
either. Yeah.
No, because it had been so long. And to find that dad's or the diary or whatever,
Yeah.
it was just really good. I This was such a good book. It's a good beginner fantasy shifter. And I think just an overall fun, good read.
Yeah. I agree with that. So
Yeah.
I recommend this book
And it's a
for those
standalone, I
interested in reading.
think.
Yeah, it is. It didn't imply that there'd be a second book, and there wasn't
No.
any. I mean, they introduced the twins, but they didn't really talk about them with anybody
Yeah.
or being interested in anybody to where it led like, oh, there's going to be a second book where you can kind of
Yeah.
tell. There was nothing like that. So this is definitely a standalone. So I have the
It
hard
does make me
copy.
want to read more of her stuff. I've seen her book Overruled a ton lately, and I think I might pick that up.
Is that the lawyer one? I might have
Yeah, I think
that
so.
somewhere actually. I have so many
Yeah.
books right now.
Let's be
Um,
honest, we both do.
yeah. So yeah,
I don't see it as a problem though.
I start seeing it as a problem when I'm not sure where to put them, and that's when it's become an issue.
See, I don't think that's the issue. My problem is when I can't decide which one to read.
Oh, I ever have like five outgoing, but
I know I always have like a bunch going
yeah,
because I can't pick. I think I have four different ones going right now.
ruthless creatures. Yeah, I probably have about the same.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but
It's not a problem. Other people other people commit crimes. We read too much.
yeah, we just have a. It's just yeah, okay. I'll go with that. All right, that's a great thing to say actually. When my husband's like, "You got more books," it's like I'm not committing a crime. I'm
Right?
just reading a lot. Reading's good for the
I
brain.
I told my sister when I went to Barnes and Noble and spent a lot of money that I didn't tell my husband about. And I brought it home and I was like, if he finds these, I am going to tell him that I read for my sanity.
There you go.
So in buying these books, it is keeping me sane, which therefore means I don't murder him. So reading and buying books is really saving his life. And I'm just a giver, Jordan. I'm a giver.
I love that so
It's
much.
all about him, right?
Yep. Uh, that's amazing. I love that so much. But before we get on, because we I know how we are. We're gonna go on like books and tangents. So all right, back to Under
Under
Lock
Lock
and
and
Key.
Key.
Back to Under Lock and Key. This is a really good intro to a shifterverse world, to historic a touch on historical
Mhm.
and
Mini
uh
mystery.
mini mystery, and it
Just a
just
very
overall
good book.
just a good intro to a romance book. I would
Yeah.
even say it's to some extent it's a borderline rom-com because there's some really funny
Yes,
elements
there's
here.
some really funny elements in it.
Yeah, and the banter is really good. Enemies to lovers, basically, because
Hmm.
they're attracted, but they won't admit it. And it's one of my
Yes.
favorites. So this is a
And
good
then there's
intro to
a
that type of just in general to romance.
yes. And then there's a scene where he's a hot man on a tractor. So
Oh, do with that what you will, ladies and gents.
Hmm.
But it's definitely a good intro book to just hop into. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I would give this, I think I did rate it. I don't remember my rating, but I think I rated it like 4.3 just because
Yeah.
I have read a lot of different shifters. This is a better one out of that, but I do wish that we could get more of this world. I think it would be interesting. What else? What other mysteries in Scotland that we are like? There's a bunch of Scottish
There's
lore on the
so
Fae.
much lore. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Fae. There's a bunch of different ones. I don't remember all the different names. Some of them are really hard to pronounce. But I feel like
Some of
that.
them, yeah, it's like that mountain in Greenland. You look at it and you're like, same with the Scottish stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was like,
I don't know about this.
I'm not trying to offend anybody, so I'm not even gonna try. But
The
yeah,
Celtic language.
yeah,
Nope.
no. Mm-mm. So I feel like that would be really cool if she took a dive into that area, but I don't think she is.
That'd be
But yeah,
fun.
but this
Yeah.
is a great book for that. So what would you give it?
I think I probably give it a 4.5, but I haven't read as many shifter ones as you have. And I really appreciated the Scottish part of it, the lore, the mystical part of
Hmm.
it. Um, I mean, you give me a hot man in a kilt and I'm there. I
Yeah,
got,
I would say that for
yeah,
most women would go for that as well, and gay
you give
men.
me a hot man and I, I'll share.
Ah, okay. Well,
They can have them too.
that. Thank you, everyone. That was under Lock and Key, and we'll talk to you
Yeah,
next
check it out.
time.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think if you pick it up, and yay
Yeah.
or nay on your thoughts. All right, bye.
Bye.